Well, good morning. Here we are, just filling the top lock of the Hatton flight, ready for our descent into Warwick. So it's going to be an hour or so of hard graft getting down these locks. No sign of a boat to share them with yet. So wish us luck.
And we're off. We're at Hatton top lock. It's wide enough for two boats, but there's no boats coming. Morning. And although we can get through one gate, the other gate often comes open with the wash. It's a nice day. Cloudy, sunny. It's all good.
And there's a kindly CRT volunteer waiting to open the gate at the next lock, our third.
I think this might be number 4. But there's the pub where we were with a lovely view last night. And we've got lockers to help us.
And there are the locks, heading on down to Warwick. The old boaters really did call this the Stairway to Heaven, vis-a-vis one of our previous video titles. And I think it's because they got paid at the top. So we are actually on the Stairway to Heaven now.
So I think we're in lock 39, and apparently there's another boat coming down, so we're going to wait for them. But then there's also a boat coming up, so we're just going to cross in the pound with him.
We waited in this lock for a few minutes so this chap could catch up with us, so now we have a buddy and we have some lockies. Hopefully they're going to help us down the rest of the flight, so my job has become a little bit easier. Just done middle lock, so we've got fewer to do than we've done. Good news, not too many locks to go now. Bad news, just started pouring with rain. The British summer weather strikes again. So the locks get a bit more spaced out at the bottom of this flight. Time seems to stand still, but I'm sure we're near the bottom. And here we are, Hatton bottom lock. 2.2 miles and 45 metres down. Now let's try and find a place to moor. Well, I think we've done enough for one day. So here we are, moored up just inside Warwick. You can tell we're in a city or town, but the towpath's not too bad, and we're beside some buildings and flats with the next set of locks just ahead of us. I think we'll wait till tomorrow to do those, because now it's lunchtime. Well, although we're a little bit tired after all those locks, let's go and have a look at Warwick while we're here. So, after a largely uninteresting walk up from the canal through fairly standard streets, we seem to have got to the historic heart of Warwick. Here we are in the vicinity of the castle, Warwick Castle, built in 1068 initially, but rebuilt in the 12th and 14th century, and then again in the 17th century, where it was converted from a fortified castle into more of a country house. Now it's owned by the Two Swords group, Madame Two Swords, Alton Towers, etc. And this is about as close as we get to it without paying about 50 quid for the two of us. and given the time of day and our energy levels, that would be a waste of 50 quid. This is High Street with one of the old city gates at the end of it, and someone doing karaoke by the sound of it. Here we have the Lord Leicester Hospital, which has stood on this spot for at least 900 years. So apparently this building, built in the late 13th and early 14th century, always has been a home for retired servicemen. It was built by the United Guild of Warwick and given to Robert Dudley, one of Queen Elizabeth I's favourites, for him to create a sanctuary for honourable military men who fought for monarch and country. And apparently it's still serving the same purpose to this day. This is the West Gate, massively fortified entrance to the medieval city, and beside it you see that little pillar box, which is fashioned in the shape of a Doric column and has stood here for about 100 years. Now heading to the town centre. Let's see whether it's different to any other town centre. Oh, this side of the town centre is quite grand in the style of Paris or Prague, whereas this side is the exact opposite, really. And here we are at St Mary's Church, the parish church of Warwick, with its magnificent tower covered in scaffolding and plastic. Oh well, just our luck, I suppose. Apparently the scaffolding was put up there in 2021 when a bit of stone fell off the tower and it was declared as a potentially dangerous building. I think they're now busy fixing it, but it's clearly taking them a while. Here is the East Gate with another one of those Doric post boxes at its base. The other medieval entrance to the city of Warwick, or the town of Warwick. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little potted tour of Warwick, which seems a very pleasant place. I'm sure you could spend at least a day and an evening in Warwick, if not a weekend, especially if you coughed up to go to the castle. But we're off back to the boat now, through the rather more ordinary outskirts, and we're going to find a pub. This is very pleasant. Little canal side bar by the lock.
It's absolutely gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
Morning. And after a surprisingly peaceful night in the heart of Warwick, we're off again. Just picking up some water down 2 locks and through Warwick to Leamington, where we hope to stop for a few days just the other side of Leamington. So let's see how we go on this pretty sunny day so far. There's Judith cleaning away whilst the boat fills up with water. Cape locks done. Just 2 locks today, in contrast to yesterday. Hopefully, unless we can't get moored where we want to get moored, in which case there's a load more. Let's hope we do get moored where we want to get moored. I think this is a car park. We've obviously tried to make it look a bit snazzy, not just a car park. So the canal skirts to the north of Warwick town centre, which we had a look at yesterday. Certainly on the face of it, seems perfectly pleasant. As is often the case with canals when they go through urban areas. Here is the site, former site of Cape Boats, which closed their operation here when they started building all those houses, according to the lady I spoke to. We were thinking of mooring here, but they couldn't get us a key. So if we'd moored here, we'd have been trapped, which isn't great. So we'll pass on by.
We're just going over the aqueduct over the River Avon. Fishermen, paddleboarders. Aqueduct this time over the railway. We've now moved seamlessly from Warwick into Leamington. It has to go in the weed hatch. Something wrapped around, which meant we couldn't steer, and there was lots of black smoke. Great snake. Look at it.
Nice rural mooring, just the other side of Evesham. Access to the town and the station and the shops, but none of the likely shenanigans with a town mooring. I think Dreammaker will be happy here for a few days. We'll explore later, but first, lunch.
Pete's just got all this out from round the prop.
Leamington's finest. Lunch has been had, and as usual we're off for a look around, walking initially back in the direction of Leamington. Apparently there's a nature reserve around here, so we'll see whether we can have a little walk around that. And after a detour caused by a closed footbridge through Leamington's leafy suburbs, here we are on Willie's Bridge, looking over the River Leam. Down there's an almost unbroken strip of greenness that goes pretty much through the middle of Leamington Spa. You've got the pump rooms, you've got some botanical gardens, pubs, cafes, the usual fare, pretty much all the way to the Avon and Warwick, and it is very nice. We're going to walk this way along the banks of the River Leam, back in the direction of Dreammaker. And now we're on Newbold Common, which is a very nice resource for the people of Leamington. Lots of play areas, walks, woods, all in all a very pleasant place. And all of a sudden we've emerged into open farmland. Certainly is a walk of contrasts. And here is the River Leam. It actually splits in two at this point, so the far bank is technically an island. Off Churchbury Park. Looks like the sort of place they have events, and pretty good trees. Just coming into Off Church, little village, pub, church, and these lovely rolling fields. It's a very pretty little village pub. In fact, it's a very pretty little village in general. Picture postcard. I told Judith to look like she was enjoying it.
I am, it's fabulous.
Sort of climbed up a ridge, and here's the view on the other side of the ridge. So the final little bit of today's explore is down this old railway line that leads back to the canal. I'll have to look up where it went, but it's now been turned, as many have been, into a multi-use track. And by this amazing viaduct that used to carry the railway across the canal, we find our way back on the Grand Union Canal, one bridge up from our boat and the pub. The intersection of two transportation technologies. The White Lion. So here we are, sitting in the beer garden of the White Lion, a bit of a gastro pub. It's possible we'll try this out later, not today, but Friday. But meantime, we'll just have a pint.
Cheers. My new favourite lager.
And so night falls over Radford, Semilly, or Semilly, or Smelly, one of them. And another little tour comes to the end. We've had a fantastic time coming up from Stratford. Lots and lots of locks, and definitely achier than I was in Stratford. But the canals really have surprised us with the lovely countryside that they've been going through. So a really lovely cruise. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have, and if you have, I hope you join us next time. In the meantime, please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.